Welcome to Meeplepopolis, home to a couple hundred of the cutest Meeples you'll ever see. Meet Appa and Tev's Meeple and their daughter Binti. They absolutely love camping. In fact, it's their favorite thing to do together whenever they have free time. With the arrival of their newest family member, an adorable Meeple named Ivan, Appa and Tevs can't wait to take him on his first camping trip. The time finally arrives. The Meeples pack up their car and head out to their favorite camping spot. But it's not long before they notice their youngest isn't quite as fond of the great outdoors as everyone else. Feeling frustrated and out of ideas, Appa and Tevs decide to pack up their car and head home. The Meeples decide to wait and try camping again once Ivan is older. Yet they begin to notice that it isn't just camping that he doesn't like. As he learns to feed himself, there are definitely foods he does not like to touch. Finger painting is no fun. Anything messy quickly turns stressful. Appa and Tev's friends say that every Meeple is different and not to worry. They feel better, but only for a short time. They just can't shake the feeling that something may be different, so they do a little research. They are surprised to learn that there are many other Meeples like Ivan who have sensory processing challenges that can affect how Meeples feel, hear, and experience things. They also learn that intervening early is really important, so they get started right away with the Meeplehood League Center. Miss Brandy, an early intervention specialist from the Meeplehood League Center, comes to their home. They feel a little nervous, but Miss Brandy is really nice and explains exactly what they'll be doing. She asks them what they want for their family, and the Meeples share how much they love camping and how stressful their last camping trip was. Together, they come up with a plan. They get out the finger paint. Miss Brandy suggests that first Appa, Tevs, and Binti put some paint on a plate in front of them and talk about it while touching it and having fun. Ivan listens and watches. Then Tevs has an idea. What if we give Ivan a paintbrush so he doesn't have to touch the paint? Every day, Appa, Tevs, and Binti introduce Ivan to different textures and experiences. Some days go better than others, but overall, there are big changes happening. The Meeples are so excited by this progress that they begin to imagine that camping together may actually be possible one day. They decide it's time to tackle the grass. Miss Brandy suggests that they start with putting socks on Ivan so the grass feels less prickly on his feet. Miss Brandy thinks they are ready for their next step, planning a camping trip. Success! It's hard to remember that just a short time ago, the Meeples weren't sure if they'd ever be able to camp as a family, but early intervention changed that, and they couldn't be happier. Much like everywhere else, there are some pretty picky eaters in Meeplepopolis, but nobody is quite as picky as Nino Meeple. Mealtimes in this house can be pretty stressful for Macca and Isa. Nino doesn't like anything they offer him. He will only eat finger foods. Not only is cooking for an extra picky Meeple tough to do, eating out is no longer a treat. Sometimes Macca worries, but she assures herself that if he gets hungry enough, he will eat. During a regular checkup, Nino's Meepleatrician notices that he is a little small for his age. After getting the inside scoop from Macca and Isa, the cause becomes quickly apparent. Nino's love of finger foods and not much else has him weighing in less than other Meeples his age. Macca and Isa feel a little embarrassed that they didn't realize Nino's love of finger foods was a problem, but they are very glad they talked to their Meepleatrician. Isa also shares that they aren't sure how to help and talks about all the ways they've tried. Their Meepleatrician listens and has some really good resources to help. The Meeples get connected with early intervention, which helps with any concerns about Meeple development. Miss Brandy, a developmental specialist from the Meeplehood League Center, asked to visit their home during mealtime. Mac and Isa are very glad she wants to come and visit and see firsthand how challenging feeding Nino can be. Miss Brandy watches as Matka and Isa chase an uncooperative Nino around the house, trying to get him to eat anything other than his beloved finger foods. After a little while, they give in and offer Nino a bag of pretzels that he immediately begins to happily eat. After lunch is over and Nino is taking a nap, Miss Brandy, Matka, and Isa sit down to discuss mealtime. Miss Brandy wonders if Nino's love of finger foods isn't about being a picky eater, but that he actually doesn't like sitting in a chair to eat. Together, they develop a plan that at dinner time, Nino's chair will be on the floor, and that Isa and Matka can make a game out of sitting in it. Miss Brandy suggests once he enjoys the game and sits in the chair, to give him the food that he enjoys most. It's dinner time, and time to try out the new game. Matka and Isa take turns pretending to sit in the chair, but they're too big. Who else could try to sit in the chair? Oh, it's Nino, and he fits just right. Nino laughs, but jumps out of the chair, so Matka and Isa do it again. Once he finally sits, they give him one of his favorite snacks. Miss Brandy explains that everything won't go right 100% of the time, but not to give up, because small steps end up being big progress. This encourages Matka and Isa and helps them feel more confident. This especially helps when it's time to move Nino's seat back onto a chair at the table. Nino starts to get very upset, so Matka decides to pull out some pots and pans for Nino to play with. Oh, it's so much fun to bang them on the tray. This new addition to mealtime is quite the success. Miss Brandy loves their ideas, and together they celebrate these victories along the way. Matka and Isa are so happy with Nino's progress. With hard work, patience, and support from the Meeplehood League Center, they've accomplished their family's goal. Welcome to Meeplepopolis, home to a couple hundred of the cutest Meeples you'll ever see. It's another beautiful day, and the Meeples love going outside to play in the sun. Anya and Yarrow decide to go to their favorite playground to have some fun. Yarrow relies on Anya to get her around because she has physical challenges. Anya doesn't mind because she loves spending time with her Meeple, although she does find herself running around a lot just trying to keep up. Young Meeples, just like people, learn from playing and socializing. Anya puts Yarrow down in the sandbox to give her the opportunity to play with other Meeples. Making friends independently is an important part of growing up. However, it's not long before Yarrow is alone and frustrated by not being able to keep up with her friends on the playground. Anya decides it's time to get Yarrow a wheelchair so she can explore and keep up with her friends. But never having gone through this process before, Yarrow quickly feels overwhelmed. She had no idea it would be this complicated. Miss Brandy has been the family's early intervention provider since Yarrow was born, and she is excited about this idea. Although Miss Brandy won't take care of the process for Anya, she is there every step to guide and support the family. Anya invites Miss Brandy to the first wheelchair appointment. Mr. George, the physical therapist from Anya's support team at the Meeplehood League Center, also joins them. While Mr. George works with the wheelchair specialist to make sure the fit is just right, Miss Brandy helps Anya brainstorm about all of their favorite places to go to make sure the wheelchair can work best for them. The visit starts to run long, as they sometimes do, and Yarrow is getting very tired. Miss Brandy helps keep Yarrow entertained by playing a game together. A few hiccups with the chair fitting, and it seems there's no end in sight. But as time drags on, Anya begins to feel frustrated and decides she needs a break. Miss Brandy and Mr. George continue talking with the wheelchair specialist about what the family needs and wants. After a moment, Anya and Yarrow return, ready to finish the appointment. After a long and difficult process, they finally have a wheelchair. It's time to get Yarrow out with her friends. As Anya watches Yarrow play and move around on her own, she can't help but feel grateful. She has a team who encourages her to decide what is best for her Meeple and who supports her in making that happen.